Welcome, everyone.
We're live. Sorry.
Welcome, everyone. This is Wendy Rose Williams, and thank you for joining us at the Waking Up Spiritually podcast. It's so wonderful to have you here at our last podcast for 2023. And I would like to introduce myself first and then introduce my co-host. And we have a wonderful guest for you today. So I am a past life energy healer, and I help people release energy that no longer serves them, whether it is stuck energy and just feeling like you cannot get out of second gear, or whether it is pain, anxiety, depression, whatever it might be. It is my gift and privilege to help you release and shift that energy and get you feeling happier and healthier. So let me introduce my co-host, Gregg Kirk, and he'll tell you a little bit about what he offers, and then we will bring on our wonderful special guest, Debbie Buse.
Hi, I'm Gregg Kirk. I am an energy worker. I am an author. I'm working on a second book. I have a book out named The Gratitude Curve, which chronicles it's an illness I had, Lyme disease, for about 12 years, and how I got through it, and how a spiritual awakening happened in the meantime. It also brought about some healing. So I offer that kind of advice, healing advice, and energy healing to Lyme patients and other patients seeking spiritual awakenings. You can check me out at greggkirk.com. That's spelled greggkirk.com. I was giving you my email address. So I'm getting distracted. We had all kinds of technical issues today, timing issues. It's just, I'm sure it's in the stars, but
it is Mercury retrograde this week.
So come check my website out, greggkirk.com, and check out the events, because I do local events in the Connecticut area. I also do online Zoom healing circles every Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time. But without further ado, we would like to welcome, for the third year in a row, I believe, yay, Debbie Buse, who is our resident astrologist, for our show. She's the first guest we ever had, her first interview we ever had, and we would like to welcome her back for projections for 2024.
Hi, thank you very much, both of you, for having me back. I always love this because I get a chance then to kind of see and prepare what's in store coming up for the following year. So it's been really good to kind of just see what 2024 has in store for us.
Yeah. So let's get you going. Let me pull up the, oops.
And this, just while Greg's doing that and bringing up the PowerPoint, just to let you know, Waking Up Spiritually, everything is archived at wakingupspiritually.com. So you're so welcome to go to our website, and there you're able to see the PowerPoint of the information that Debbie will be sharing.
And there we go. You all are seeing that okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okie doke. Okay, so this is the snapshot of the sky on the 1st of January 2024. And what I loved about this was, first of all, the beautiful kind of sacred geometry. I mean, for anybody that is not used to seeing a chart like this is what a true sidereal chart looks like, because we incorporate the 13th zodiac of Fucus, which is right at the bottom of that chart there. It still has the 12 houses, but we incorporate the Fucus sign, which sits in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So what I loved when I kind of saw this snapshot is that the sun will be in Sagittarius. Now, what most people don't realize, when we look at a sidereal chart, which is, I am a sidereal astrologer, the whole purpose of sidereal is basically to look at the constellations. So I look at the real-time placements of where the sun is, where the planets are. So if we looked at kind of a tropical chart, it would show a very different picture. It would show that the sun was in Capricorn. Now, there is a difference around 24 degrees difference between a tropical and a sidereal chart. But for me, there was no going back. Having trained in tropical for over 25 years, once I kind of made this shift, probably about 2.5 years ago, there was no going back for me, because once you kind of see those placements and you start to work with it with the charts, I feel that it gives it almost a kind of a deeper layer of the chart reading. There's almost kind of like a soul reading, a soul level. Now, there's nothing wrong with tropical, and those who still use tropical, it's perfectly fine. It's just, for me, anybody that does readings with myself, they will have a sidereal reading. And this is why I wanted to kind of show this chart today, to show you that what happens as we move into 2024. Now, the sun will be in the sun constellation of Sagittarius. The moon will be in Leo. And Mercury will also be in retrograde. So it currently goes retrograde. Oh, I think it's this week, this Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Yes, because we've got the new moon tomorrow. Mercury goes in retrograde on Wednesday, and it will carry on into 2024, but it will stop around the 18th of January. It starts to go direct. So as I've put on the bottom, it's a beautiful combination of fire and water. So the energy as we move into 2024 is all about that action-oriented fire energy, because we have the sun will still be in Sagittarius. And then we mix that then with this energy of a focus, which is very much linked to water energy. And it takes on the flavor of that scorpion energy, because it's kind of linked to the serpent bearer. That's what the name of the constellation is called. And it sits just at the bottom of Scorpio. What I also love about this chart as well is that it's got a beautiful kite. I don't know if you can see this here. We've got a trine, we've got a grand trine in fire, and then just at the base of this we have a beautiful kite energy, which is all about kite is all about peace, tranquility. So as we kind of move out to 2023, which for me personally has been a year of change, fast moments, can't really kind of get your teeth into things, very up, down, adaptable. I mean, you have to kind of hold on to your hat, I feel, in 2023. There was lots of changes, lots of kind of indecisive kind of, where do we go, this way, that way. And for me personally, definitely saw trying to get my feet kind of stuck into something. So 2024 will be a very different energy. It will be a more kind of grounded energy, I feel, with the energy, because we break it down to the number 8. So how does that feel for you at the moment, starting that?
That's good news. Good news that things will be less indecisive and a little more grounded. We use a little more of that.
And that feels great. I love that combination of the fire and the water, as you said, Debbie. So that's wonderful. Yeah. Okay, if you want to move on to the next slide. This is pretty much just like a what true sidereal astrology is. I kind of call it that ancient accuracy. It's the where tropical is very much fixed on 30 degrees. So the chart is very much fixed in the 30-degree signs. But where true sidereal, the beauty of true sidereal comes in is that we actually use the size of the constellations. And Virgo is one of the biggest constellations. So whenever any planets or the sun will go through Virgo, they'll tend to go through it a lot longer than it would be normally in tropical. So like I said, the sun at the moment is in a focus. It hasn't reached Sagittarius yet. It won't get to Sagittarius until next week. And then Sagittarius then will stay through mid-January to the end of January. Then it'll move into Capricorn. So so that was just a little bit about what true sidereal is. And here it is. So 2024, it breaks it down into an 8 universal year. And I kind of amply named this the year of the magician because
if you look at, and you kind of go back to sort of like 2023, which was the number 7, and the number 7 is all about spiritual awakenings. It's a fast, quick number. And if we look at kind of what the role of the magician is, it's all about that kind of manifestation energy. And if we take what we kind of had with the 7, which is all about the ether, higher, and then it's about now bringing it down. So it's making those visions, which is kind of like that spirit, that vision, that the information that you receive, that then becomes real. So we're manifesting it, and then we're bringing it then down into earth to materialize into form. The number 8 is all about that kind of grounding it down. 7 is fast, it's quick. 8 is okay, it's time to action. Let's take action. Take anything that you've learned throughout 2023, which is all about education. I know for me personally, courses, looking, seeking that more knowledge. What else can I learn? Be curious about information that's coming to me, those downloads that whereas 8 now is about, okay, take what you've learned and put it into action. So it's all about manifestation. Okay, and if you go into the next slide of, excuse me, these are some of the words associated with the number 8. So about leadership, strength, abundance. Number 8 is linked to the number of wealth. It's also the number of infinity. Number 8 is also associated with entrepreneurship, business, wealth. It's also about that vision. You take that vision and then you bring it into form. Also, it's about accomplishments as well. What have you kind of learned from this last year? Say we've still got another couple of weeks left of 2023. So is there anything, tying up those loose ends? What else are you kind of finishing off? Any school or jobs? Are you kind of looking into kind of making some new career changes? As I said, it's that year of the magician. It's about kind of starting that new cycle. I feel it's because it was so quick, so upheaval 2023, and it's not finished yet. As I say, we go into Mercury retrograde this week, but it is about now how can we bring that energy forward and then ground it into manifestation. It's a great year for money, finances. But if you've kind of looked at your money in a way, because some people think when 8 is all about money, I'm going to make loads of money. Yeah, you need to have a handle on your money first. You need to be looking at where you're spending your money, where your finances going. What are you doing with that money? Are you kind of in a job that you don't want to be there anymore? Number 8 is also about kind of self-worth, identity. What is your worth? Are you looking for a pay rise? Are you afraid to ask for a pay rise? It's very much about that, identity, resources, integrity. So how does that sound so far?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And I think people who have an affinity and work with Merlin and just work with magic, you just said it all when you said the year of the magician, and just being able to transmute some of those things that don't serve us.
Exactly.
So maybe that self-worth and just being very, very real. What I'm hearing you say is getting real about a lot of things.
Yeah, it's about kind of, putting the effort in as well and doing the work. And whenever we kind of look at the manifestation side of it, I feel sometimes The Secret kind of gave it a bit of a bad name because everybody wanted something very quick. If you have that vision, and I do love doing vision boards, but if you have a vision, you have to feel it, see it, believe it, and it has to feel, in every essence of your vibration. Because if you're wanting something, but then subconsciously you actually don't feel that you deserve it or you don't really want it, well, then you're giving those two kind of, you're not giving clear signals. And I feel this is what the number 8 is all about this year. This energy of 8 is about, okay, you can have anything you want, but you have to want it. It's all that kind of armchair, that armchair astronaut, that kind of thing.
Yes, Wendy and I did an episode on manifestation, and we spoke to exactly that. You've got to feel it, the thing that you want, taking out of the equation that you don't have it. Because on the energetic side of the world, what you're doing is you're creating it. You're grabbing hold of it emotionally, and you start feeling that you've got it already, and you give gratitude towards it, and then you let it go. And then whatever the emotion was that you used to create it, the feeling of, and that's what we really focused on is, how does it feel to have more money? And a lot of people say, oh, happy, it makes me happy. Well, no, it's really more specifically probably a feeling of relief and a little bit of freedom. So focus on those feelings, and then it will come back in ways, unexpected ways. And we always also recommended that you be more general about these things, because just saying that you want to pay off your mortgage or your car payment, that's so limiting. And you can have abundance come to you in other ways, even outside of things like money. So
exactly.
I just want to say, from a personal standpoint, everything you're saying about this manifestation and the building of accomplishments is already resonating with me now, because I just started a book. It's more than likely will be finished next year. I just started writing some new songs. More than likely will be finished. They're not going to be finished before the end of the year, is my point. So this is already shaping up to be very much the way you're laying it out. So
yeah,
very cool.
And I think it's kind of like I've made some notes here because I always kind of forget what I'm going to say. I like that. I have a lot of 7 in my chart, so it kind of like goes very so it comes in and it goes out. But yeah, I kind of it's also a year about kind of like dealing in facts, dealing in those black and white facts. It's whereas the 7 vibration is very much about the kind of the mind. I do feel with the number 8 is about, it has to be embodiment in kind of you as well. Embodiment, everybody feels that they want to manifest and it's all up there, that kind of thing, but we have to kind of ground it down. Like I said, we have to bring what we kind of learned, the wisdom, the knowledge, and then ground it down into form to make it real, to make it physical. But yeah, no, and I do feel that 2024, we're going to see a lot more people going on strikes because of their trying to get the money that they feel that is worthy of them. And especially, and we'll move into it a little bit later when I talk about the planets moving into Taurus, it's about that kind of finding your worth, but also, what do you want? I feel it's very much as well, some people just want a paycheck at the end of the day, and that works fine for them. Other people want to do a job that brings them joy, fills them with a passion. And I feel that 2024 gives you that opportunity to do that. And as I said, it's the number 8 is always associated with business, finance, entrepreneurs. So it's a perfect year if you feel that, what, I'm fed up of working in the corporate anymore. I just want to go out on my own. I want to start a new business. I want to do something that actually fills me with joy. So yeah, I do think there's lots of opportunities coming this year in that.
Very cool.
Cool. So we go on the next slide. So yeah, this is what I was just talking about, 2024. So in mid-May of next year, 2 planets, Jupiter and Uranus, will align in Taurus. Now, these 2 planets have not been together. And what I mean by align, they'll be sitting together within a couple of degrees. They've not been together since 1941. Now, if you look back and think back what happened in 1941, we had the war. But we also saw a rise of almost kind of independence and freedom for women. Women started to kind of, most of them would start to work within the war, but they also started to see that money being, to them, they were receiving a paycheck rather than it kind of coming via the husband or the partner, you know. So I do see this energy of Taurus, sorry, of Jupiter and Uranus moving into Taurus, aligning around self-worth. Jupiter is all about big, expansive. It's an energy that loves to give, and it wants that expansive energy, and it's all about wealth and faith and trust and having a belief system. And Uranus is very much about that, I want to say, that spark of your individuality. It's an energy that is all about curiosity, uniqueness. And when these two together, it's going to be a powerhouse of you know, those sudden journeys. Like I said, it's a combination of independence and freedom manifesting. And as I say, especially in the sign of Taurus, which is all about, what have I written? Taurus is all about sort of banking systems, money, finance. Taurus is one of the oldest zodiac signs. It's very much rooted in agriculture, the farming. So if you go back in time where you would kind of, it would be that bartering system. So you would kind of, you know, have something and then you would barter for it. So it would be that give and take. But it, again, is very much rooted in the energy of Venus, and it loves music, dance, nice food. It's those five senses that you know, the taste, the touch, the sound. And again, it's about holding on to our earth as well, being kind of grateful of what we've got, and not letting the earth go to how it has been this last kind of, I would say, the century of the wars that are going on. And you know, it's about, let's be kind to each other, you know, let's bring in that humanitarian energy and embrace the love for each other. And that's what I found when I saw that, and I was like, whoa, these two. And then, as you say, when you look back in 1941 and we were going through all that war, we've never not had a war. If you go back in time and time and time, there's always been wars. And I do feel that, especially with Uranus coming in, and it is about that finding your individuality, and what do you want to put your stamp on? What is it about that you really want to kind of take hold of, manifest it, and kind of run with it? And Jupiter will be there to help you with that. So yeah.
Sounds great, and we definitely need all this.
We do. We do.
Yeah, these changes.
Big changes coming in the spring then. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Look forward.
Definitely. And like I said, this is the date. So Jupiter moves into Taurus on the 25th of April, and Uranus moves into Taurus in the 10th of May. So by around about the 16th, 17th of May, they will be together at the very early degrees. Now, if you look at a tropical chart, according to a tropical chart, they're both in Taurus now, but they're not. They're actually in Aries. Jupiter is in Aries and Uranus is in Aries, and Jupiter, they're both retrograde. So they're both in that retrograde moment at the moment. And if you think of Aries energy, Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's war. Mars was the god of war.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of what's going on now. So hopefully, you know, fingers for everything crossed, when these two align next year, we'll start to bring in hopefully some peace and some harmony, and at least make the start of it. Because as I say, there'll be a long time for Uranus to be in Taurus. It's going to be there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next slide. Okay, so these are the Mercury retrogrades for next year. And what I found was unusual. So 2024 is going to be a year of, I want to say, expect the unexpected, but also you've got to kind of make from it what you want to make from it. normally when we have a retrogrades, the Mercury retrogrades in particular, they tend to be in a particular element. So for all of 2023, the retrogrades have been in the elements of fire. So it's been Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So Mercury retrograde goes retrograde this week in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, next year, they don't stick to one theme. So it seems to be that it's kind of, again, this theme of fire and water. So the first retrograde that we'll have is in Pisces on the 1st of April. And Piscean energy is very much about that going with the flow. It's a very magnetic energy. It's probably one of the most psychic signs in the zodiac. But there is a kind of thing, the shadow side with us, with all of them. But with Pisces, it's, you can either kind of go very much to the extreme where you kind of numb that pain. So you often find people that might go down the addiction route if they have a lot of Piscean energy, or they might go completely the other end, and it's all about the spiritual side of it, the woo-woo. You know, they'll go full woo-woo. So there's this too, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So again, it's all about that illusion. Neptune energy is that, you know, what is beneath the veil. So I feel as we kind of move into that sort of like the first couple of months of 2024, it's about, okay, what is going on beneath the surface? Do we have to look back at what is real, what we think is real, and actually what is real to us? Piscean energy is also very much about that kind of dreamlike state. It likes to kind of drift off into kind of daydreaming land. It's very creative. You often see a lot of artists, singers with a lot of Piscean energy. So yeah, and then I love it that mid-August, you know, beginning of August, then we have Leo, which is all about let's be brave, let's be courageous, let's stand, let's have that fire energy, creative energy. And then we kind of like we leave the end of 2024 on a healing note, which is very interesting because we start 2024 on a healing note, because a lot of the planets are in Ophiuchus. So Ophiuchus is very much about that Chiron energy. It's the healer. It's very much linked to that wounded healer. So where are we looking at healing certain parts of our life? So when we kind of combine these with Mercury, which is all about the mind, our thought process, how we take in information and how we share that information with others, it's about what is going on in the mind. What is the mind playing tricks with? Mercury is the great trickster. So I thought that was very interesting, seeing those signs for next year.
And plus, like you were saying, we've got a retrograde happening now that's leaking over into 2024. When did you say Mercury's going direct? In January?
January the 18th.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like it influenced our technology here with today.
Yes, it will. Yeah, you usually get the shadow side of Mercury retrograde usually about 2 weeks before it starts to, the blips start to happen. So yeah, anybody out there, just back everything up.
Right.
Yeah. And then these are our eclipses. So what the difference with you'll see on the other side, I've got on the other slide in a bit, we have a difference of kind of like south node and north node. Now normally a north node, which is kind of what we call it, it's our shortcut to enlightenment. And whenever we have a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, it means that one of the nodes is sitting near the moon or the sun. So for this one in particular, the first one on the 8th of April, it will be a north node solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. Now, the nodes changed mid-year this year into Pisces and Virgo. So again, it's interesting that Mercury is going retrograde in Pisces. Plus we have this north node solar eclipse in Pisces. So again, it's that energy of, and a solar eclipse is all about new beginnings. What can we create from? And it's about, and I feel, which I love, as it's coming into this beginning of April, where we are going to start to feel this shift of Jupiter, Uranus moving into Taurus. It's very much about this creative energy. How can we create, like we said from the very beginning, we've taken from 2023 what we've learned, now we're bringing it into form. What can we manifest? What can we dream? What can we dream big? How can we take action? And this is what these eclipses are all about. Piscean energy is about, okay, trusting in our belief systems. What belief systems do we have? Do we have a belief system? What are we kind of looking at? Are we moving more towards that spirituality? Are we awakening more to that spirituality? And then we have the Virgo side, which is very much about that logic, thinking, very analytical. Pisces energy wants to let go, be free. It doesn't want to be tied down with routines like Virgo wants to. It wants to kind of put those systems in place. So it's very much about, okay, how can you work and blend them together? Which is kind of, again, it's this energy of this earth and water. How can we take something that is manifested and then bring it down into the ground, into the form? Virgo is very much rooted into the land. It's the harvest, it's the sign of the harvest, when you kind of sow the seeds and then you kind of plant them and then you kind of get them ready then for harvest. So is this making sense? am I talking?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Cool. And then the next slide then is just all about the lunar eclipses. So we have 3 lunar eclipses. Normally eclipses come in pairs. So we normally have about four a year. So like I said, 2024 is like anything goes. So we've got 3 lunar eclipses next year, and they're in Virgo and Pisces. So we kind of leave towards the end of the year. The last lunar eclipse will be in Pisces. Like I said, it is that energy of manifestation, but also kind of dreaming big. So what are you going to dream now, put into your vision board for 2025? So all cool. and then this is what I wanted to kind of finish with. Ask yourself some questions going into 2024. You know, for me, every year I think of a word. What is going to be my word for the year? And for me, for this year, it was accomplish. And I've kind of pretty much accomplished what I wanted to kind of do this year. I've still got a couple of weeks left to kind of finish that and tie up those loose ends. But yeah, look at kind of these questions, you know, and ask yourself, what is holding me back? Is there anything in your life at the moment that is holding you back? Is it your finances? Is it a relationship? Is it your career? Is there a part of your life that is just, you feel that it's feeling stagnant, it's not working? And again, these are also perfect questions to ask as we go into Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde is all about going backwards. Even though the planet doesn't officially move backwards, it's just an optical illusion that it is going backwards. Mercury retrogrades, people are so afraid of them, but they're not. They are an amazing opportunity to really redo, really look at what is working in your life and what is not working in your life. Is there anything that you've started and you've kind of put off? Now is the time to, like you, Greg, with that book, now is the time to edit, make those kind of changes if you need to change, ready then to kind of make forward. And so, yeah, look at what is holding you back. Is there any area in your life? And if you feel that, oh, I don't know, well, then just sit with it, just journal with it, just meditate with it, just see what comes up. The first thing that comes up is usually the first thing that we look at, what is coming up for you straight away. And then ask yourself, what is challenging me? Is it my work? Is it that my lack of finances? Is it my relationship that I'm in right now is just not working for me? What is challenging for me? And then ask yourself, how is it showing up for you? Is it presenting itself in work? Because what I find is that, especially business owners, they might find that their business is going great, but then their personal life is not going great, or their personal life is not going great, and then their business. So there's gonna be a mirror somewhere. What is kind of out there showing you, reflecting that for you, and how is it showing up for you right now? This is also a good question to ask. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel emotionally? If you are, I would say, kind of like an air person, kind of Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, it might be a word you might come up with. It might be a sentence. How is it making you feel intellectually? How is it making you feel? Is it not working for you one way? And then is it making you feel emotionally? Is it draining? Are you feeling burnt out? Are you pushing in an area of your life that actually requires you to let it go? And then once you've written that down and you've had that kind of, you know what's in front of you, ask yourself, when was the earliest memory that you felt that way? A lot of things come up usually before age 7. And it's about, okay, when was the first time that happened? Was it something that was said to you? Was it something that happened? Was it something that made you feel a certain way? And then you've kind of pretty much carried that forward. Most people, it's like the law of gravitas. Most people hold on to things that was said to them 30, 40 years ago, and they've carried it, on their back for all these years. And it could be something that was said to them when they were small, but they've kind of added weight to it. And when you add weight to something, it takes longer in waiting time for it to heal. So it's about, look at how you made you feel. What was said to you? Was it something that was said to you by a parent, a caregiver? And then ask yourself, then, what did this situation teach you? How is it teaching you now? Is it serving you now? And yeah, play around with it. But I love doing things like this because it really gives me kind of some clarity on things that I feel I'm ruminating and I need to let it go.
Yeah. No, these are all great questions that I would say take a snapshot of this, keep it on your phone, and continue asking yourself these questions throughout the year.
Yeah, this is not
really
just
good.
kind of just for now. This is literally, as you say, every time you come up with a challenge. And even though 2024 is going to be a year of manifestation, and it can be a great year for finances, you still have to look at the challenges that come up for you, and whereas before I would kind of be fearful of certain challenges, now I embrace them, because all it's doing is it's allowing me to kind of clear and get rid of that pattern, that limiting belief that I kind of held on to for so long that doesn't serve me. And I don't want to carry that into another year. And yeah, so I would kind of ask these questions anytime a challenge comes up for you.
Yep, they're always growth opportunities. They're the opportunity. The opportunity is the pivotal word, because it can also not be, if you want to hold on to it and fight it and defend yourself and all that kind of stuff, or it can be something that sends you upwards once you release it. So yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's almost a kind of a freeing with it, isn't it? That once you've kind of realized, and it was interesting, it was just this week, as I was writing that, I was asking myself one of these questions, and a memory popped up of me as a small child going to get the post from the door, and my mother snatched the post away from me, and she would hide her bank statements. And I saw having post as a negative thing, because it was always, don't take the post. So for many years, I would be afraid of the post coming. The post bring me bad news and all these kind of thing. And it just hit me this week. It was like, oh, that's why sometimes I fear looking what's in the post box. And it was just something as simple as that had kind of happened to me as a child, that I'd kind of subconsciously carried with me for such a long time.
Yep.
But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the point is, it doesn't serve you anymore.
It doesn't serve me.
So when we find those things, because yes, a lot of people can have reactions to the mail being delivered to them. That's something Gregg and I talked about before, because often it's to do with fears around authority, and people are just afraid to see, that bank statement or something from a government body, or like you said, like the bad news. And why can't we get to that place where we're just neutral about it, or like, oh, maybe there's a something exciting invitation in there, or a letter from someone,
or a check,
or a rebate, or just like, oh, have like a little excitement around it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
Wonderful. Well, anything you want to add to that, Debbie, or any comments or things from Gregg? Gregg, I don't know if you can check in the group on your phone and see if there's any comments or questions from people who might be with us live.
Yeah.
Well, I had to turn my phone off because somebody started texting me and was making noise. So I was trying to be, but it was just easier to turn my phone off.
Let me do a quick peek.
I'll just see if I kind of any notes that I've made, because I made some kind of notes for me for the slides.
Okay, so just some people that are with us that are watching live, and Carol was commenting, more grounded. Yes, please.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful, but there was nothing there to need to answer, just some comments and people watching live with us.
Well,
oh yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was only going to say that what I'd forgotten to mention is when especially because I say we're moving into an 8-year, which is all is mostly linked to kind of like money, finances, and business. When we start a new year, we tend to kind of look where the planets Jupiter and Saturn are. So they kind of give the themes of pretty much for the year as well, especially in a business chart. And Saturn is still going to be in Aquarius. So it'll be there. So there will be, I would say, further advancements in technology, AI. I mean, if it can't get any better, it's still going to be good. I mean, I saw something today about somebody using a ring now. There's technology with a ring that they used to make payments with. So who knows what is coming with advancements in technology and AI. And, AI can be a beautiful thing if you kind of use it to your advantage. Don't be afraid. People seem to be afraid of AI at the minute, and ChatGPT and stuff like that. No, ChatGPT is amazing if you kind of want to put in to give you some ideas and things like that, and what to kind of use. And as I said, Jupiter will be in Taurus. So again, it's all about that kind of money, earth. Taurus is very much about that banking, finance. It rules that profit and loss. Shadow side of Taurus is very much about holding on to things. Taurus is notorious for kind of holding on, and especially that if you think of that kind of that Scrooge energy that wants to kind of gather all their money and finance and not spend it and that kind of thing. So it's one of the fear factors of Taurus is a fear of they will lose everything. So they hold on. And what you find is that the more you tight and hold on to things, it's gonna go. It usually does go somewhere. So that was one of the things I'd forgotten to say, was about that, and it's also going to be a great year if you're an Aries or a Libra, because Taurus is going to be sitting in your 2nd house and it's going to be sitting in your 8th house. So it's your 2nd house of money, finances, how you earn your money. And the 8th house is the house of money that you can earn through other people. So it's about investments, inheritance, taxes, people investment and things like that. So it's about long-term investment and where you put in your money. So yeah, they were the two things I've forgotten to mention, but
well, that's what I was going to ask you, for you to do kind of like an overall kind of recap and projection. So you did it perfectly, and then you added even more things. So thank you so much. Oh, well, and thank you again. Like I said, this was the 3rd year that you've done this with us. So thank you so much. And
yeah, and thank you, because I often find I'll have people reach out to me and I'll say, well, where have you found me? Because I don't do much advertising, and they'll say, oh, I saw you on Wendy's show, or I saw you on that one that you did in December. And I was like, oh, okay. Great. So
great.
yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's wonderful. Well, thank you for that. Look forward, Debbie. We really, really appreciate it.
you're
And
so welcome.
I'd like to invite everyone to some workshops that I have coming up. And for those of you who are looking visually, here's my new tiny home. So speaking of financial freedom and freeing up just time and energy and everything. So here's where I'll be moving in April. And Debbie, one of the first things you talked about was just that balance of fire and water. And that's what I had been feeling, was a lot of people needed some help balancing their 4 elements. So guess what my first workshop is of the year?
I love that. Yeah, definitely.
Elements, because getting your 4 elements of fire and water and earth and air really can be life-changing. So I'm offering a complimentary workshop in that area, and you can sign up via my website, which is wendyrosewilliams.com. And then in February, my tradition is to offer a complimentary workshop regarding soulmates and soul contracts, because that one just always fits in with that February energy of just feeling love, or where is the love, or where's my soulmate, or why is it so dang hard, or this is amazingly blissful. It just seems to bring out a lot of intensity. And just to understand how soul contracts work. And contract, it's not meant to be a scary word. It's simply an agreement. And guess what? Agreements can always be changed. So that workshop is going to be on Monday, February 12th. And both of them are at 4:00 Pacific time. And again, you can register via my website, which is wendyrosewilliams.com, and go to the events tab. And I do offer an ongoing energy clearing and blessing with Q&A. So the next dates for those to help you through the holidays, because the holidays are wonderful for many people, and they're very challenging for other people. Those seem to bring out some real contrast too, of some people feeling just very, very lonely, or overwhelmed, or again, just some big emotions can come up around the holidays. So I am offering those on December 19th, December 28th, and January 7th. And again, just simply go to my website, just like you can go to Gregg's website to see what he's up to in his wonderful events. So please join us January 8th for the next Waking Up Spiritually podcast. And you can join our Facebook group, which is also called Waking Up Spiritually. And that's where you can join us live and also get some support on an ongoing basis. Or, as I mentioned, please visit our website, which is wakingupspiritually.com. And Gregg added a search functionality to that, which is super, because you can just go in there and put in the topic that you'd like some help with, whether it's guides, past lives, astrology, whatever the topic might be. And if you don't find some help on your topic, please contact us and let us know what you'd like some help with, and we can create a podcast for you in that area. You're also welcome to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you get the notification when there is a new episode. And we so appreciate you rating and reviewing us on Apple iTunes, or whatever your favorite podcast app, because that helps other people find us there too. And again, you can visit Gregg at his website, which is Gregg, G-R-E-G-G, Kirk, Kirk.com, and see what he's up to, as well as information about his books, including The Gratitude Curve. And you can visit me at my website, which is wendyrosewilliams.com. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of the year to everyone. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Debbie. Thank you for being
No
here.
worries. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.